Good morning, everybody, and happy 4th of July to my American neighbors. So today we're going to go through another JATBot video. I definitely want to give a big update on where everything I have is at, and some of my not necessarily recommendations, because really most of this stuff is for me, and then if you guys choose to go into stuff, then that's kind of your choice, right? This is all risk, but what my goal is to try and create passive income for myself and hopefully limit the risk as best as I can while I grow this, hopefully responsibly, because we've all been through the ringer. We've had all the craziness. We've lost all our money to different rugs and all that stuff. So this is one place where you can control everything, and I plan on keeping on moving with this. It's doing well for me, as much as we went through some turmoil the other during the war news and stuff. So before I get into it, they did decide to do, because I knew I was doing another video, they did decide to do another promo, so you can get the first month free of access to the normal bot or the VIP, I believe. It's not for the bigger bot, which I will be opening a live account for to try and test that other bot with. So once I get that done up, obviously I'll do a video on that. That other bot is a little bit bigger bot. You really want to be using it with live money as it enters multiple trades and stuff. And yeah, you just want to be able to have that massive amount of drawdown in case things go the other direction, kind of thing. So on that note, so obviously everybody knows the U.S. or Iran, all that war stuff sent the market into quite the tizzy. This did cause quite a bit of drawdown for people using the JATBot, as it did for people almost in any investments inside of, well, anything. So keep in mind, risk management is probably the biggest thing you need to focus on when it comes to anything like this. Trading, even in general, risk management is probably your biggest ability to keep going. So as you can see, my junior level account, I did lose that, so it's no longer active. It does kind of suck, and I'll go through it in a second. I'm going to go through some details, but I just want to stop on the screen because I have the blackout there, and then I'll take it off and go on. But as you can see, my executive is going. I've now accumulated $320 worth of earnings, and basically I need to get just over 1,000 in order to get a payout on that one, and I'll get half of that payout, so 500 and some, which will pay for I believe half of the account, kind of thing. And so still moving slower with this one, which is what I wanted. I've kept it basically at 4x. I could look to increase that a little bit, but I want to just let us get away from all this war stuff. I believe the markets are going to kind of stabilize a little bit for a little while over the summer, but I want to just let this still build up a little bit more before I start adding any more risk. Other than that, just to go over the accounts for a minute, and then I'm going to go through my spreadsheet. I've definitely made some changes to my spreadsheet that I want to go through and just sort of show you guys why and how this might help survive. The big thing is these smaller accounts, they're going to be harder to deal with. Like anything under like 2,000, even 4,000, I'd be careful with that size. If we go through the same kind of thing that we just went through. Again, we may not go through that for a long time now, that kind of turmoil. And in that case, we may not see the kind of drawdown that we saw, and you may be fine going higher risk. But again, preserving these accounts is more important, especially for, in my case, because I had gotten a level 3, my payouts were getting larger and larger, right? They were like doubling every time pretty much, or getting towards doubling. Maybe not doubling, sorry. But anyways, you get what I mean. The payouts were growing and growing and growing. And now that I lost this, I've now lost, I've just barely ROI'd. I made 81 bucks. And now I've stunted my growth opportunity with this. And I mean, if I had gotten to something like this, obviously payouts are massive. So even if this takes me 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, that's still a decent amount of cash flow for myself. So slowing down how much risk you take as you grow your account is definitely an important thing to do. And you don't necessarily have to slow down the risk so that it takes you the same amount of time to get to the next level. You just need to slow it down so that you're not putting the account at risk. So I've talked around in circles there a little bit, but basic idea is I do recommend going for, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't even touch the traditional ones. Yes, they're super, super cheap, but there's a reason for that, right? People go through these accounts and blow through these accounts gambling their way to the top, and oftentimes probably never make it to here with these ones. Your drawdown is lower, your cost is lower, But even if you go to the premier ones, your cost is not that bad. Obviously, that's relative to you and who you are and how you and the cash flow that you have. So I get that's a loaded statement. But your starting equity is obviously quite a bit nicer. Your extra drawdown is nicer. Obviously, if you can afford it, the empires are amazing. But I mean, you're talking 1,000 to start, and that's for 10,000. But you get 10% drawdown. So if I was to make a recommendation, I don't make recommendations. This is not financial advice. This probably is the best bang for your buck overall, and you're getting 30% off of this one. So to start with something like this or this, I mean, obviously that's double in a bit, so I get it. Will give you far more of a bigger safety net. And with my 17K account, I've had it at about 4x. Most of the time it's been doing well. So even going at 2 with your 10K account, you can hopefully keep yourself fairly safe. Just to show you a comparison, this is what I had before. As I said, I kind of ex-nayed these ones figuring they were really too high risk. Even this one, like I said, is questionable. So you want to be careful with that. But other than that, I think this is a more stable version. I really, all I did was use simple math for this. I just doubled everything as I was doubling the accounts. And then I slowed it down once I got to 64 and 28 and kind of slowed it down to make it the same and then the same. I don't know what I'm going to do when I start getting to these larger account sizes. I'll worry about that in the moment. Basically, I'm at this one. I took the Premier Executive L1. There's no discount codes on these, but the nice thing here is I got that tiny bit higher drawdown. Hindsight 2020, I might have liked, like I said, the Empire 10K one, but the issue with this one is you aren't funded right away. So this one I was funded right away, so that's why I paid the extra. And I'm hoping I can be okay with that. I'll just lower how much I'm risking. So again, that can be a determining factor. If you decide to buy this one, the Empire instead, then maybe you want to look at, and I'm not saying do this, but maybe you can look at going here or somewhere in between here for your risk tolerance. You've really got to make that your own. You've got to make that choice yourself and go with what's comfortable for you. And as you build a buffer, you can start moving up to the higher risks or somewhere in between here. I might even say, like, I think I doubled these. I might change this to percentages times 1.5 instead, kind of thing. Copy. And I'm truly just spitballing these things, so it's hard to say for sure. And that was times 2, so maybe even this be 1.5 as well. That's why I say don't take this as gospel. It's just sort of an idea, and you can use decimals in there inside the social trader tools, so you can do that for yourself. What else did I want to get to? So that's kind of the idea. As I said, this sheet I believe you guys can access in my videos. It's there if you want to have a look at it. If you want to just copy it and create your own copy and make it your own and change the things, that's fine. So for me, like I said, these Empire accounts are pretty fantastic if you can get the extra cash flow or funds out of them. These ones give you a far bigger drawdown to worry about. What I will probably do is, as I ROI on this one, and once I start getting some better income from that, I'll probably use some of that to buy one of these ones to get a second account going and to increase my cash flow. So once I kind of, I don't know, we'll see. But basically that would be the idea, would be to kind of get one of these. Obviously it would be grand to get this one because 6K, you're funded right away and you can ROI yourself pretty quickly. And it gives you a pretty big account to work with. But that takes a lot of savings. So other than that, that's kind of really about what I wanted to get into. The idea was just to kind of give you guys a better idea of how to play around with these. As I said, my next videos, I will probably look into getting into the live accounts and start showing those ones off. And again, I'll throw that data into my Discord. I might try and keep you guys updated a little more regularly in there with how the account is doing. I kind of just wanted to see this one get out of the drawdown before I started doing too much more. And as I said, it really did perform well. As much as it was rough, I think I'd hit probably half of my drawdown because I hadn't built up too much of a buffer yet. I think my buffer was 250, and now, as I said, I'm at 340 after the what it had built up in profits, and I think my drawdown right now is $40 or $30. I checked it this morning, so it's performed quite well and got itself kind of out of that. It's out of all the trades from the war, and it's now creating its own new trades, which are doing it's cycling through them a lot faster. It's still slower, the market's slower, the volume's slower. I don't know if the direction's being picked quite as accurately as it could be. But the nice thing is when it goes into drawdown, it usually takes a little bigger profits than when it just goes straight to take profit. Although less emotions you have to worry about, so there's always a bonus to that. And it looks like the Concept Trading also has their own promo, as I mentioned earlier, so 30% off. That seems to be their normal promo. Sometimes they have a little bit more. It never includes the L1s, which are the funded accounts that fund right away. So just keep that in mind as you're going through your choices. And again, affiliate links for everything down below. I do appreciate it, and some of you have used all of those, and so I do truly appreciate that. It does help me cash flow my life, because I do like keeping on this and learning my trading and all that stuff. So it helps me keep growing and keep learning and keep helping, hopefully helping you guys in the end. So thanks again. If you did enjoy this content, please do hit that like and subscribe button down below if you have not already. And yeah, let's enjoy hopefully some passive-ish income through managing your own bot that you get to work through that seems to be working quite well. So thank you again, guys, and have yourselves a great, amazing weekend.